Of course, it was a Christmas that was nothing like any Christmas you'd ever imagine. I remember when the doctor came in and in the middle of the night and he said, oh, I'm really sorry, but we found a brain tumour, and then we found out that it wasn't just one brain tumour, it was tumours pretty much all over his brain and in his spine.
And then they took us to a room and told us the diagnosis, and it didn't look good.
The chances of him surviving were so small, they were less than 10%.
He was in the room with us as well, and so he's all climbing around you and interested in the room. So when we were given the diagnosis, it was like a train. Must be a mistake. Can't be that bad. Must be something we can do. We'd been working with Axel's illness and looking after him for that year, and it takes a lot, mainly around the thinking and the planning around his medication and his health and his well-being. And the reason why we got in touch with Shooting Star was because it got to a point where we knew that it was more than we could take and we needed some support.
And at first, I didn't want anything to do with it because a hospice is for someone who's going to die, and Axel wasn't going to die. But he was sleeping very badly, and to the point where it was having a very bad effect on us. And so that was the main kind of reason for getting in touch with Shooting Stars. And then it turned out that, we used the hospices for a lot more than that.
You walk in there and you can kind of finally relax. It was quite a relief to be able to turn up there and know that he would have a great time, and he absolutely loved it there.
We spent time in the hospice as a whole family. We had a weekend there, and this was when Axel's cancer had started to grow again. So we had kind of like a mini holiday, the whole family there, and we went swimming and in the soft play and had an amazing time.
We first became aware that his cancer was growing again was when he was grabbing his leg quite tightly, so much so he could bruise it with his own hand. It wasn't long before they were able to find out what was causing it, and it was the cancer pushing against one of his nerves in his back, and that grown quite big. The cancer had returned and there were no more options left.
And we were still living with the tiny bit of hope that one of these medical trials were going to be the answer, and he was going to defeat all the odds. So we were still fighting, I remember talking to one of the nurses about 2 weeks before Christmas. And I said, do you think he'll be here for Christmas? And she said, yeah, there's nothing acute that I can see that, means that he wouldn't be here. We went to bed on the 23rd of December at 10 o'clock or something like that. And Axel was in between us. And
then at about 11 o'clock, we woke up and we noticed he wasn't breathing.
Yeah.
It was peaceful. It was really good that we could be at home throughout the whole thing. That was good. We had the support from Shooting Stars. They had equipped us with everything we needed.
So the week before he died, all the preparations were put in place, and Shooting Star had a cold blanket that they came and left here with us so that we could have him with us at home. And we were always told by the hospice, okay, so, you want to be at home. If you change your mind any time, just get in the car, go, there'll always be a bed for you. And that was so reassuring, I think.
When it came to his last days, we just wanted him to be as relaxed as possible through that, not prodded, not pushed around, not tied up with a whole bunch of tubes in a cold place.
Of course, it was a Christmas that was nothing like any Christmas you'd ever imagine, but at least he was here, and Martha had a kind of normal Christmas. Yeah, Christmases are weird now. They'll never be the same again. They won't be.
But the weird thing that I feel about Christmas now is I don't mind. I like it because it means that that day on the 23rd you can really think about it, and I appreciate that time. You have what you do on Christmas Day, and you have what you do on Boxing Day, and we have what we do on the 23rd.
Yeah.